basic meditation points and also the importance of practicing meditation, how to develop the mind step by step, day-to-day activities, deeper wisdom, and then finally realization of Nibbana. And it's important also to recognize some basic points, not just in your meditation, through meditation, but in your day-to-day life, some basic points. If we wish to be happy here and now, and if we wish to be free from suffering, then we have to understand some of the points. The first is, if our mind has too much of craving and clinging. Craving, when we say craving, Lord Buddha has explained the craving as craving for sense objects, craving to continue, or craving to get something more and more, and craving to discontinue or craving to stop something. So all these three are some sort of craving. When we want something to continue, that is also craving. When you want something to discontinue or stop, that is also craving. And when we enjoy the objects through the senses, eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, mind, that is also craving. So, if our mind has craving, then there will be clinging. And if there is craving and clinging, then mind cannot be peaceful. It's a very fundamental point in the Dhamma practice. If we understand this, then it is easy to practice the Dhamma. The teachings that the Buddha has given are basically meant to make one free from suffering. So, before we are free from suffering, we have to know what causes suffering. Before you are able to get the treatment, you should know what is the sickness, what is causing the sickness. Similarly, so we have to recognize the nature of craving in our mind in day-to-day life. In various situations. Craving has certain, when the craving is there in the mind, to continue something, to discontinue, or to like or dislike, whatever it is. It has a certain feeling. It has a certain type of feeling. When craving arises, it comes with a certain type of feeling in the mind. And that feeling inherently makes the mind, first of all, it makes the mind feel heavy. Makes the mind not very light or comfortable. There is a sense of that there will be a sense of discomfort. It may be small, it may be big, but there will always be a sense of discomfort or heaviness or uncomfortable nature, uncomfortable feeling whenever there is craving in our mind. This is a very fundamental point we have to understand when we are meditating. When, for example, too many thoughts come, when you meditate, and you experience thoughts regarding the past or regarding the future, or thinking about the future, and your mind gets disturbed. You like certain things that happened in the past, or you don't like certain things that happened in the past, or you want certain things to happen in future. As soon as these types of thoughts come, automatically the mind will feel a little heavy, not so comfortable, not so light, not so subtle. You can see it. How? When the mind is peaceful and comfortable, your breath will be peaceful and subtle. And when the mind is heavy or uncomfortable, the breath will not be very peaceful and subtle. There will be change in the nature of breath. So, by knowing the breath, you can know the mind. When you know the breath, you know your mind. You see the breathing pattern, peaceful and very subtle and refined breath. Means mostly there are no unwholesome thoughts, or even if they come, they quickly disappear. But if there is heaviness in the mind, and if the breath is not very refined, breath is gross or rough, then there has to be some kind of unwholesome things happening in the mind. So breath is like an indicator. So this point we have to understand before we are able to take care of our happiness and remove our suffering. This basic point that the nature of craving is to make the mind heavy and uncomfortable every time it arises. Every time there is wanting something or liking something or disliking something or wanting to continue or wanting to discontinue, this type of feeling will come in the mind. Sometimes it may also come in the body, but first it will come in the mind. So this we have to understand before we are able to do more than anything, more about our Dhamma practice. Because the whole teachings, the whole set of teachings that the Buddha has given is to overcome, is to let go, is to destroy this craving. So if we have to practice, we have to keep our mind, we have to keep our goal clear. Our goal should be clear. If we think we will continue our craving, we will continue our likings and dislikings, and we will practice the teachings of the Buddha, then this will not work. Because they are very contrary to each other. The whole set of all these 84,000 discourses the Buddha has given are essentially different ways to reduce and eradicate craving. One of the discourses, Lord Buddha says, when one's speech, one's bodily actions are good, is not killing, not stealing for lay people, not committing sexual misconduct, not telling lies, not gossiping, not backbiting, and then at the mental level, not allowing this craving to overcome the mind, reducing the craving, letting go the craving. So this is inherent for our purification. Anything, when we say it is the Buddha's teachings are for mental purification or purification of mind or purification of a person, means it is for eradication of craving. Because that is the second noble truth. And the third noble truth, this is the cause, this is the cessation. So before we do that, we have to understand the craving in our day-to-day life. That's why yesterday we said that before we are able to finally destroy all the craving to become enlightened, we have to understand and deal with small elements of craving in our day-to-day life. Because craving comes from ignorance. I. When you say, I like this, I want this, or I don't like this, or I don't want this, the I is the main important person. So if it all comes from the sense of I. So when you reduce this craving, automatically your sense of I also will reduce little by little. And when you reduce the sense of I, your sense of craving also will reduce. Both ways it will work. So when we practice meditation, or when we practice the sila, morality, 5 precepts, 8 precepts, or more precepts, or when you give dana, generosity, offering. For example, start with dana, because dana is considered the basis of spiritual life. Now, dana means what? To give something, to share something with other people. But then, before you share or before you are able to give something, offer something to other people, you have to reduce your attachment towards that thing. Whatever you are giving, if you think like this, this is for me, I will not share, then you will not give that. Then you have a strong sense of I, only for me and not for other people. I will only get the benefit out of this money or whatever, wealth or other material objects, and I don't bother about other people. So then automatically the sense of I is strong. Craving is also strong. Similarly with following the precepts. Not to kill, not to steal, not to commit sexual misconduct, not to tell lies, not to drink alcohol, drugs, or people following 8 precepts, avoiding entertainments, or sleeping on a simple bed, or not eating after 12 o'clock, whatever. So it is all about letting go of certain worldly attachments, at least for some days or some time. At least for some time. I want extra comfortable, extra luxurious bed, or I want this type of cosmetics, or this type of entertainments, or whatever it is. So for some time we let go, or for longer time. So when we let go, to that extent our mind has freedom. We keep on uttering this word letting go. To the extent we are able to let go this sense of I want, I don't want. When you are able to let go, to that extent our mind has freedom. To the extent we grasp, our mind is tied up. So with regard to dana, with regard to sila, morality, with regard to practicing meditation, with regard to development of wisdom, everything is all about letting go of these tendencies of I, tendencies to crave and cling. This we have to understand. At least the basic we have to understand before we go deeper. We must understand this is the basic point. This is how the teachings will help us to overcome suffering. If we don't do these things, if we don't care about these things, then we will not be able to practice the teachings the Buddha has given us, nor will we be able to get the benefit out of these teachings. It will not give us the result if we are not focusing in the right way, in the right direction. So this is pure life of Dhamma practice. understand that the Buddha was very clear that in a life, in one human life or any other life that we have, or sometimes beings are born as Deva or Brahma or whatever it is, whatever life we are able to get, eventually it all comes to an end. Even they are all impermanent in their nature. And when they are impermanent in their nature, they will become unsatisfactory. For example, now human life you got. Say you are able to earn enough money, and you are able to fulfill many of your wishes. But eventually you have to let them go, because death will come. You have to. And then at that point of time, you are not able to let go, your mind is still unhappy and wants, no, I don't want this, I don't want to die, I want these things to continue. Then you will die for sure. But you will die with a lot of craving and clinging, leading to a very low rebirth. That's the only big problem. So the Buddha was very clear. If you have to overcome suffering, then you have to overcome samsara. You cannot say, I will continue in the samsara in this life and the next, but I will be fully free from suffering. That will not work. That does not work. Nobody can do that. Because the samsara is full of changing things. Samsara is full of most importantly, our body and our mind, what we generally call our own. My body, my mind. Even that is also changing. Not permanent or fixed or anything. Similarly with all other things outside. So if these things are basically changing, then you cannot have perfect satisfaction in anything here. Whatever you say perfect satisfaction will change after some time. And then you go to another thing, it will change after some time. So you have to understand these very points clearly. People sometimes look for short-term solutions. If I have a problem, I will look for one solution just to solve that problem. For example, if I have some kind of mental stress or unhappiness or something, I will go I'll go to some place or enjoy with my family or friends or do something like this or some kind of, see such things. But that is only for temporary solution. Because now you can keep yourself busy. It's like when people are asleep, they don't remember all the things that they think throughout the day. No? You have to do this, I have to do that. When they're asleep, they don't remember. But as soon as they wake up, they are able to remember. Oh, I have so many things to do. Oh, this is so much, this and that. So, if we try to avoid suffering by giving ourselves some kind of objects of the world, this or that, to temporarily forget or ignore. This is only just like sleeping. You forget only for the short time. As soon as you get up, you will remember all the things. That's why we have to develop right thought. basic right thought. And this right thought is craving is problematic. Craving causes unhappiness here and now, right now. As soon as it arises, it causes unhappiness or discomfort. World is full of changing things. There is no perfect satisfaction in the world. Therefore, if we have to be free from suffering, we have to be free from the samsara. These are some right thoughts. So whatever we do to increase our samsara, to continue in this life, another life, automatically we will think, oh, if that is the case, then I should do the other way around. If craving, clinging, greed, hatred, they enhance my journey in the samsara, then I should reduce them. That is the right thought. Samma sankappo. So we have to have some right thought, at least the basic. It is very important to have this type of right thought. People have thought how much money I can earn, how much name and fame I can earn, how much this and that I can, material things, house or car or this or that I am able to obtain. How many people will respect or honor me. People have those thoughts. But the Buddha didn't call them as right thoughts, because he understood these things don't make us happy for a long time. Eventually, they will be the source of unhappiness. Somebody is rich, and then when they grow old, their own children will fight with them for money. That happens to people, rich people. Like, after they grow old, then their children will say, give us all the money, or they will do this and that, all kinds of things. Or 2-3 children, they will fight amongst themselves. I want the main share, I want the main share, like this. Or people have name and fame, and then eventually some other people will come and criticize or say something, and then again name and fame will go. So that's why the Buddha didn't call them as right thoughts. To let go, that's what he called right thought. And not to create condition, like not to have a mind of hatefulness, not to have a mind of harmfulness. Because when we have a mind of hatefulness or harmfulness, we are creating a lot of conditions. Conditions means karma. We are creating all those unwholesome actions. Not just to continue in the samsara, also to continue with a lot of suffering. If we have a harmfulness and hatefulness and we do harm to other people and we hate other people, then automatically a lot of negative results will come our way. Suffering will come our way. Inevitable. So that is the right way of thinking. And also in terms of actions, good actions and bad actions. If our actions are wholesome, based on wisdom, based on loving kindness, based on compassion, based on generosity, so then they will be producing good results. If it is based on cruelty or harmfulness or hatefulness or ignorance, then it will produce unpleasant results. We have to recognize. This is also a very important point, because, as I said, nobody can do our purification. We only have to do our purification. So there will be people telling, you go to so and so temple, you go to so and so teacher, so and so guru, so and so person, and they will take away all your sins and they will do this and that for you. You will be free. People say like this. And this is dangerous because this does not happen. And you are caught, you are trapped in this wrong idea, and then you ruin your life thinking other people will do things for you. If you really wish your welfare, if you really wish to purify your mind, then you have to do it yourself. That's the only way. Other people cannot do anything. They can at the most tell you what to do. So taking responsibility of our actions, very important. Most people don't. They think I can do anything and get away. I can tell a lie and get away. I can do this and get away. No. Law of cause and effect, law of moral causation, what we call karma. It will come and vanish. If we do good, good will come. If we do bad, bad will come. So that's also part of right understanding, right thought. That yes, if I do like this, this will happen. So better be careful, better avoid, better not do these things. If somebody asks you, who is your protector? Then you must say, I am my real protector. I am my real protector. If anybody can protect you, you are the real protector. Because doing the right things, you can save yourself and you can elevate yourself. Doing the wrong things, you will degrade yourself and you will fall into suffering. So ultimately, you are your own protector. Other people are not your protector. This is a very important point. So when we have this type of thoughts, then it is easy. Then our mind will be... So when you practice meditation also, for example, now you practice meditation 1 day, 2 days, 3 days, 5 days, 7 days, 10 days, whatever it is. You do it with a sincere mind. But how do you do? When you have the right thought, yes, I have to take charge of my mind. I have to let go of these tendencies that I have been accumulating. I have to make my mind peaceful. I have to let go of the craving. I have come here to practice meditation. I will be sincere. Automatically. Even if other people not telling, you will be sincere. You will try to put forth effort. But if you don't have this, okay, people call, I have to follow, I have to do, I will go, I will not go. Maybe I will go one session, I will not go, or it's okay to skip, or it's okay to not to do, or even if you come here, half of your mind is, I have come here, but what to do? Maybe I'll just sit quietly and then get up and go. Then this all comes from the wrong thought. That by automatically your job will be done. Whatever time you utilize to develop your mind, that is your wealth. Whatever time we spend by developing thoughts of greed, hatred, ignorance, that is our loss of wealth, inner wealth. So, you have come here to develop inner wealth. And this will, if you have the right thought, then you will understand, yes, I've come for this. Let me try, let me see, let me try to do as much as possible, because time is limited. Only 7, 8, 9, 10 days. It will get over soon. So let me do. Then, if you do it with the right intention, then it will give you the better results. Very meditation is not just you come and sit and do. When your mind has balance and wisdom, some balance, some wisdom, then your meditation will go better. If there is no balance and no wisdom, you do, mechanically you try to follow, but then most of the time it doesn't work so well. But if you have some balance, some wisdom, it will work very well. So this much for today.